You have queued up the Roulette Tapes, a program of adventurous music and conversation recorded at the New York City Concert Hall, Roulette. You can hear thousands of concert recordings from Roulette's past and present and find news of upcoming events celebrating innovation and imagination at roulette.org. Aren't you curious?
Welcome to another edition of the Roulette Tapes. I'm Susan James. Today we feature pianist and composer Sylvie Courvoisier with excerpts from 4 performances at Roulette. We'll hear 2 performances of her trio with Kenny Wollesen and Drew Gress from 2016 and 2020, and a 2024 performance of her project Amalthea, formerly known as Poppy Seeds in the Roulette archives. We'll also hear one iteration of the project Chimaera from 2022. Sylvie sat down with us for a conversation in Knoxville, Tennessee on the eve of her performance with Chimaera at the Big Ears Festival, and she gives us background on these projects and her history as a musician. And now, here's Sylvie Courvoisier.
My name is Sylvie Courvoisier. I'm a pianist, an improviser, and a composer. I live in Brooklyn since 27 years, but I was born in Switzerland. I speak French and Italian. My music is influenced by classical, contemporary, jazz, avant-garde, and experimental. So I started playing piano at a super young age. I was probably 4 or 5. My father is an amateur jazz pianist, and he plays swing and Dixieland. And I was always drawn to jazz and improvisation as a child. And I always liked to improvise. I used to put the radio on and improvise with all the sound I heard at the radio. But I decided to become a pianist when I was 6, and my parents told me it's not a profession. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I always kept that in my heart, and I always kind of knew I would become a pianist. Yeah, and after I studied in Lausanne, Switzerland, and in Siena in Italy, I studied jazz in Siena and classical contemporary, classical at the conservatory in Lausanne. But I always had my bands, even when I was 16, 17. I had the Fuzzy Buzzy Trio, I had the Sylvie Courvoisier Quintetto with some Italian guys. And I started touring very early, probably in my early 20s, always writing my own music, still studying classical music at the conservatory. And because at the time when I was a student, there was no jazz or like experimental school in Switzerland. There was just a bebop school where there was only guys, and it was only really bebop, and I had no wishes to go in a bebop school. Not so much the bebop, but it was the fact also that there was no woman. So I decided to study classical. I never studied composition, and so that was my start. And my first bands where I toured with was the Sylvie Courvoisier Quintetto, where I wrote my own music, and after Ocre, which was with a barrel organ, a guy from Paris. His name is Pierre Charial and Michel Godard on tuba. And that was my first band when I was 22 until 26. 6 and after I moved to New York. So when I moved to New York, I realized that I have a lot of things I need to improve. So also I met Mark Feldman, who used to be my husband. I was with him for 20 years. And he's older, he has more experience, so he really showed me a little bit the road has to be a more perfectionist musician and to be on a higher level. And I met a lot of other great musicians like Courvoisier, who is also at this festival, like John Zorn, and they've been all so nice, so like Jim Staley. I played Roulette, I was probably, just when I moved to New York with Mark, I played you there. I really found a community of musicians, and I felt like I belong here, so I decided to stay. Originally I was thinking of staying 6 months, but I realized, wow, here I feel it's my family and my community, and the music I love is here, so I stayed. The quartet, I originally called it Poppy Seeds. It was a commission from NYSCA, but I changed the name after too many people associated with heroin, and I said, oh no, I don't want that. And after another friend told me, it sounds too much like a clothes store, so I said, okay. So I chose the name Amalthea. That would be Greek, from the Greek Amalthea, which is inspired by one of Jupiter's moon. And it's also inspired by Zeus nurturing foster mother. And I like this image of the fostering mother and also the moon. So anyway, so this Amalthea, which is ex-Poppy Seed, is featuring Patricia Brennan on vibraphone, which is a young vibraphonist, fantastic vibraphonist. Thomas Morgan, who I love his playing, and I've been playing with him. We started playing probably in 2009, 2010. I did maybe 2 or 3 albums with him, with Mark Feldman. We used to have a quartet together, and I always love his playing. So I always wanted to do another band with him, so that was the occasion. And Dan Weiss on drums, who is a fantastic drummer and a great person and funny guy. And I never played with Dan, and I said, okay, I should try. Also, I decided for this band, for once, everybody is younger than me. I've never done that before, so I wrote music, and I like the idea of I recorded The Rite of Spring with Corey Smythe, and I love the double, even the bar organ is also kind of 2 pianos, or like multiple. I didn't choose a horn, I chose a vibraphone in the piano trio plus a vibraphone. And because I I can do all these things with harmony, but it's another, there is a sustain with a vibraphone, and I can write her really hard stuff. And I have another band called Chimaera, which I call it more my stoner band, where the music is not too hard, but Amalthea, the music, can be very complex. Chimaera was a project which was originally commissioned for a quintet for the Festival Son d'Hiver in Paris in February 2022. So Chimaera, it was all the pieces are in French name, and they are all inspired by the work of the painter Odilon Redon. It's a surreal, it's a universe of symbolism, of dream and fantasy. And all the members of the Chimaera are my hero, my friends, and it's kind of my dream band. And first, I hire Christian Fennesz, who is from Vienna. I played with him like 15 years ago in a festival, and he's an ambient guy, you know, like really from another world, but a fantastic musician, and I love his music. And when I wrote all the music of Chimaera, I always had in the background CDs from Christian. So it's a music with a lot of space, with really Christian or electronic in the vibe, really like, and I call it my music for stoners because we leave a lot of space. And there is 2 trumpets with Wadada Leo Smith and Nate Wooley. So the concert at Roulette, Wadada couldn't make it, so it was only Nate. And it was our second concert because we did the first concert in Paris, and that was, the Roulette was the second concert. So it was Fennesz on guitar electronic. My trio is Kenny Wollesen and Drew Gress. So that's my old friends, and I've been working with them since 12 years, so they are part of this band. But Kenny plays vibraphone there and drums, and Drew Gress on bass. So I started my trio with Kenny Wollesen and Drew Gress, so probably in 2013, so that's 12 years ago. And we recorded the first album for Zadig record, and it's called Double Windsor in 2013. So maybe we even started in 2012. I chose them because I love Kenny. I met Kenny Suzanne. He's such a magician. Like, I think he can play vibraphone or drums. With a trio, it's just drums, but and he always surprises me. He's always, he never do twice the same thing, and I love that. And he's a fantastic musician. And Drew is my friend, and he's a rock and a maestro of his instrument. He's like he makes the bass sing like a maestro. So I love playing with them, and we did 3 albums recorded. So the first one was Double Windsor, the second one was Dagala, and the third one was Free Hoops. And basically we just play my composition. First I thought, shall I play standard? And I said, no, there's too many people who are doing that so great. So I decided just to really have a repertoire of trio songs. So now we did 3 albums, and we did the Free Hoops and Dagala are on an intact record, and we were on the tour in February this year. It was February 2025 in Europe, and we recorded our 4th album, and that will be a live record in Paris, and it was also at the Festival Son d'Hiver. So I think I started at roulette, which year was it? Probably, I would say 1999 or 1998, something like that, or perhaps even 97, because in 97 I was coming back and forth. So, and it was a duo concert I did with Mark Feldman. And we played at Jim's Loft, which was called Roulette. And I was very nervous, I remember that about this gig. And I remember Ikoe was in the audience, I think Zorn was in the audience, Jim was there, and I was like, oh wow. You know, all my heroes were there, and yeah. And after I played also at Roulette when it was on Green Street, location 1, yeah. No, Roulette is really part of my history in New York, and it's my favorite venue in New York.
Music from Sylvie Courvoisier on this edition of the Roulette Tapes. The full performances can be found on our website at roulette.org/archive. The Roulette Tapes is a part of the Roulette Concert Archives, a project made possible in part with support from the National Endowment for the Arts and the Destina Foundation. David Weinstein is Director of Special Projects for Roulette and Senior Producer of the Roulette Tapes. We thank you for your support of this project, the artists we feature, and nonprofit arts organizations like us. I'm Susan James. Thanks for listening.
You have been listening to the Roulette Tapes, a program of adventurous music and conversation. This series is produced by Roulette Intermedium. You can find thousands of concert recordings from Roulette's archives and news of upcoming events at roulette.org.